Today's guest is one of the funniest people that I've ever seen. I'm so honored to be able to sit down with him today. He is the guest that I've been trying to get. I sent him a DM probably a year ago, and I had to come to Australia to be able to sit down with him. He is the creator. He's just creative. He has a new series on Netflix called Lunatics. He is the creator and the lead of like 9 different characters in Jonah from Tonga and Summer Heights High, which are 2 of the most amazing shows. You might have to go a little deep into the internet to find them, but I think you should. Summer Heights High, Jonah from Tonga, his new Netflix series, Lunatics, and I'm just really happy to be sitting here with Mr. Chris Lilley. Yeah, dude, I actually had a dream, dude, like a couple nights ago that we're at like a restaurant or something. It was like a fast dream, and you were having like maybe like a salad or something. I don't even know. Does that seem like something you would eat? What do you think you would even eat, you think?
Well, I don't eat meat, but yeah.
Oh, so you
I'm
maybe
not really
within.
a salad eater. I don't know what I eat.
Yeah.
Mexican
food. So maybe it wasn't. I think it was you. It was pretty much you because I remember I was meeting you at this restaurant, and because I was excited about meeting you, and so I was meeting you at this restaurant.
Yeah.
And then it kind of cut to, it looked like you were having like a salad or something.
Yeah, I wonder what made you think that. Did I look like? Because you don't know what I really look like. You would be thinking of the characters and stuff. So
yeah, some of them. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think of what character maybe would be having like a salad. Maybe, not the Earl of Havenhurst. Not that guy. God, dude, that guy is so crazy.
He's not a salad eater.
Bro, that guy's...
He's a cheesel eater.
Yeah, and what's wrong with him?
I feel like he's on the spectrum of some sort.
The tism, that's what they call it where I'm from.
Oh, the tism, yeah. There's something going on. Yeah, I don't know.
He's like kind of a victim of like society a little bit, you think?
Well...
Does he do his own thing, or is he like a...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's like aspirational. It's like everyone wishes they had the balls to do the stuff that he does and say the stuff he does.
Yeah.
But I think he gets away with it because he's a little bit unaware of how impactful it is, which, yeah, maybe that's the spectrum thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a blessing, too, to be a little bit unaware.
Yeah.
Once you get too aware, stuff's not that fun a lot of times.
Yeah, I think people want to be him. That's why it kind of works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I do a little bit. I wish I was a bit more like him.
Just fearless, huh?
Yeah.
And his little cousin, too. What's the guy's name?
Dylan.
Yeah. How great was it to work with that kid?
He's a cool kid.
Yeah.
He just kept laughing at me the whole time.
Oh, I bet, man. You could see some scenes where it cuts away from him. I noticed because he was just going to start laughing.
Yeah, it was, well, because we just keep rolling. I think he didn't quite know when we were on or not.
Yes.
But he's a really great kid. But he picked up on a lot of the language and he started like ad-libbing and throwing in like
that's great
C words and stuff. So had to kind of pull him back a bit.
Oh, he started to get crazy, huh?
Yeah, but he was just having fun.
That's great though, isn't it? It must be fun to see that as like and we're talking about Lunatics for people that haven't checked it out. It must be great to see, like, in the beginning, a guy like Dylan, an actor like him, kind of, learning his way, but by the end, him starting to get that confidence and stuff. Is that pretty cool to see as a director?
Yeah, I was unreal. There's a lot of scenes where we drive off in this little red car together, and I had to, like, pull out the audio because as we drove off, he was like, "Fuck, slow down, you cunt!" Like, swearing at me and just... Like, he got into it so much.
That's crazy.
But, yeah, I wanted him to be a bit more mute, so I had to pull the audio out.
You had to take him aside sometimes a little?
A little bit, but usually these people that we cast, you kind of just roll with whatever you've got. Like, you've chosen them for a reason and you just make the best of what they have rather than trying to shape them too much.
Yeah. And do you do most of your casting as well?
Yeah, well, I choose all the people, but I have a really great team of casting people that find them. They literally go find them off the street. Yeah. They walk around the streets and find them, or they'll just like rock up to schools or whatever. They'll go anywhere.
Yeah,
because it's so specific, the kind of people we need, that you have to like search far and wide.
Yeah, it must be that it seems like you almost need like kind of a guard, and you set up a guard, and you're kind of the rabbit in a way. So it's like the other people are still amazing people and humans and everything, but it's almost, does that make any sense to you? It's almost like you have to have a place where your creativity just is be able to kind of flow through the slalom poles of the other characters.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. And it takes a while to find those people. Also, because they're real people. I mean, not all of them. Some of them have some acting experience, but a lot of them are real people, and they behave a certain way in the audition, and then when you're on set, it's kind of like, oh shit, there's Chris Lilley. Oh, he's in a wig. He's swearing at me, and they kind of become a bit different. So you kind of have to adapt to the new version of them.
Because you can't talk them back into the regular version. Sometimes it's kind of hard, I guess.
I try to a little bit, but then it makes them lose confidence. So sometimes I'm like, I'll fix it in the edit. But I mean, the great thing about that is then you get these magic moments where they do these things that actors never do. And you're like, shit, that's so real and good. And
Is it hard for you sometimes when you know a moment like that? Because I can imagine there are probably times where in a scene a moment just happened that was so perfect that it's like, is it hard sometimes are you able to notice those as they happen kind of sometimes?
Yeah, you're in it. You see it when it happens.
Yeah.
And then a part of me is also like watching the cameras, and I've told those guys what to do while they're doing things. I can see the way the cameras are moving at the same time. I'm like, oh shit, they covered it. Awesome. Got that.
Yeah.
Like, because we have two cameras rolling at the same time. And yeah, it's a weird thing. And I can I'm editing it in my head as I'm doing the scene. I don't know. I'm not trying to make myself sound
it doesn't
amazing.
sound like you are.
I'm just like, it's a weird process, and you're like, oh shit, that's going to work. Yeah, cool. Oh, and he covered that, and then I'll cut there. It's exciting.
Well, there's not a lot of people that have ever done really kind of what you do. You know, it's rare. It's extremely rare, I think, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, Ari and I were talking about it yesterday. There's like, you know, in the U.S. we have, who's that guy, Ari? Yeah, a little bit of Sacha Baron Cohen, but some of his stuff is a little more mean-spirited, I think, where yours is just kind of like this world that is just so... It's all about fun, it seems like, a lot of times. Is that the vibe on set, or does it get sometimes a little bit too like you have to manage so much that it's hard to stay in the fun stuff?
It's probably it's a little bit more serious, but it's pretty relaxed and kind of peaceful. It's a really quiet, thoughtful kind of set. Like, it's not people aren't like, often you have like a first AD that will be yelling at everyone, but in our world it's just very peaceful, and he talks quietly, and it's just about getting those moments, because I've thought it through so much before we get on set that I just know I need these little moments. So it's not like everyone's laughing their heads off the whole time. But you kind of know, like, you sort of, you know how it's going to come together. It's more like peaceful than hilarious on set.
Yeah. Do you feel like recently I was thinking about like what makes, like, why laughter is like important to me, kind of, you know, or what like it's always been to me in my life. Like, and sometimes I was thinking that, you know, I feel like laughter, it's like, it was like when people were laughing when I was young, it was like the only time that I kind of felt okay. Like, for some reason in my head, I was always kind of judging myself, or I thought other people thought something was wrong with me, you know? And so I knew if they were laughing, then they couldn't be like not liking me at the same time or something, you know? Yeah. Like, if I have those people laughing, there's no way they could be laughing, seeing their smile and hearing the joy come out of them, and also not liking me. So it was like a second of like peace in my head or in my spirit or something. What has laughter kind of been like for you, or the ability to make people laugh? Like, do you have any thoughts on any of that from your own experience in life?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything. Like every friendship I have, it's about laughing and making jokes about things, and just I'm not really friends with serious people, so it's like it's everything. It's like so fun to just, even friends that I just text, it's just all jokes, like, and it's not like we're like, it's everything's funny. It's just about seeing the funny side of everything. Similar thing. Like growing up, I just knew that there was a sort of power in the idea of making the family laugh. And I feel like you're the youngest as well or something. Are you the youngest?
I have an older brother.
Yeah, so I'm the youngest. So I've got two older brothers and a sister. So I remember growing
up. You were the
up,
little one then?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so when I was like 5
Usually
or
the drug addict is a little one.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's time for that.
There we go.
But it's, I remember just being like 5, and then my brother and sister were actually born in the same year.
Oh, wow.
Same parents, same year, January, December. But anyway, they were
good.
like...
I thought you meant like May and July.
Nah. Still, it's like, that's close.
Yeah.
And I think they call it Irish twins.
Yeah, they do something. I was supposed to be triplets too, someone told me once.
Bullshit.
Yeah, and I wasn't. It's just me, which is crazy because I've always felt like there was something else out there for me,
How did they do an ultrasound?
The doctor said that.
Were the other ones in there at one point?
I don't know. Told my mom that it was triplets whenever they were going in there, and then nothing. Just me.
Can you have 2 that don't make it and 1 comes out?
My mom would have told me.
I've always secretly thought I was a twin, and that my mum is keeping it a secret. And I like hit her up with that like a couple of years ago, and she had a flinch on her. She sort of reacted when I said it. So
you think maybe it could be something?
There could be something. But I don't know if that's possible. I don't know much about babies.
Well, moms like to keep secrets, I think, when it comes to stuff like that, like about birth and like, family history and stuff. I think they don't like to share all of that.
Yeah. I guess it's in their day, it was more of that you just went off and did it and didn't talk about it.
Yeah, sometimes they'd take a car down to, maybe Byron Bay or something, and just have a baby down there and come back and never even have a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Just be like, I was, kind of fat for a bit.
Yeah, just into the toilet or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, people, back in the day, you'd drive off to another town, Boston, and give the kid to a charity or something and come back, It was just...
That's true, yeah. That wasn't that long ago I was like that.
50 years maybe.
Yeah. The only thing my mum said once, because I was talking about how the circumference of my head is really big. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I've got a massive head and I have to get extra large hats. And she was like, yeah, I remember. So apparently it was a big head when it came out.
Oh, I bet that never leaves him either.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that.
The pain of that. Yeah, that's true, man. And is your mom still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, let's think about it later when she's not.
Yeah. She brought it up.
Oh, well then you're safe, man. So you had the two older siblings.
Yeah, all I was going to say, like, they were like kind of they would have been like teenagers when I was about 5, and they're kind of stressing out. The parents are stressing out about them because they're the eldest and they have to like, there was a kind of stressy vibe going on, and I remember just doing stupid gags and making the family laugh, which mostly involved me like getting my dick out.
Yeah. It's a huge thing.
Yeah. That was big when I was about 5. So there was a lot of dick jokes going on. So,
and I bet it was fun for them too to see a kid just partying with his dick out and not like in a illegal way, just a.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, man. Actually, when I was born, I had like an adult-sized penis on a child's body.
Did you?
Yeah, and so they had like I couldn't even sleep at night. It would hurt my back, to sleep because I'd lay on it. Babies lay face down. Did
you just grow into it, or has it grown like?
No, I grew into it. I grew past it actually.
Oh, right.
And that was kind of disappointing.
Oh, I see now. Yeah, okay. Now it's a child size.
Yeah, now it's like a healthy kind of teenager size,
Oh yeah.
I think I haven't shown it to anybody.
I haven't seen a lot of teenagers dicks, but
Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah.
You think, yeah, I guess at 5 years old, your dick is like your greatest it's like the coolest thing you've ever known.
It's the
Pee
best thing
comes out
ever.
of it.
Yeah.
How great is that? 4 times a day.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's still fun. It's like, yeah. And people laugh at it. My family thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. There's a lot of photos of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I remember sometime, I'll be honest, I would lay in the water in the bathtub, right? And just pee straight up in the air
Same.
onto myself.
Yeah, same.
Oh,
It's really good.
it was good, man. I just saw, you know what? I just saw the scene last night. I was up watching Lunatics of the one where your character, the large bodied real estate guy, when he urinates in his own mouth.
Yeah. He loves that.
When he's showing the girl Paige when she's sitting down.
He thinks it's amazing. Yeah. And it is. Like,
It was good, man. It was exciting. But yeah, I remember it was so much fun when you were young, man.
yeah, making the family laugh. That is definitely a thing. And then you just become a big version of that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you realize, like, because I remember when I was young, I would make kids at school laugh, you know? But I never realized that it would be able to translate into doing it like on a stage and stuff, you know, and in a bigger environment.
Yeah.
Did that kind of happen for you? Like, was there a part where you realized, like, because it's kind of scary to think that one of your talents, something you do, could be like a marketable talent. It's almost like
Yeah.
it's almost cheesy. Yeah, it ruins it a little bit. It's like,
yeah. But then you're like, I can have a normal job or I can do this cool thing. And
yeah.
it's sort of worth it.
Do you know, like, a lot of your characters, have they been with you since you were young, or some of them are brand new? Some of them are things you just see off of people on the street and you're like, oh, I could do that guy?
Yeah, it's usually a combination of like of ideas that you collect over a really long period. So it's not like it's ever one person or one thing you've seen. Sometimes it's like a leftover concept from another show, and that's the kind of start of something. But then it just evolves along the way. It's sort of I feel like it's out of my control as well. Like, it kind of, without trying, like, sounding like a wanker, it comes alive and I don't really have that much control of it. It's like you put the things in place, you know what they're going to look like, and there's the story. But the way they kind of move and the way they sound and everything, it just comes together literally on the first day when we're on set. Like, because I had an idea for all the hair and stuff, but then the hair guy was like, well, why don't you try this? And it kind of evolved really differently. But you don't get to see all the elements together until literally, like, boom, on the first day. Like that Quentin character, the first thing we filmed was around the pool when he's having his 30th party. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really know what he was going to sound like. Like, I knew the character, I knew what he was about, but he really just came alive in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, around the pool with his mates, and they're all going out, and I was like, okay, this is who he is. But sometimes people don't get that, and they often say to me, oh, I really like the voice, or like, I just love how she moves or something. I'm like, how am I moving? I haven't noticed.
Oh, I see. Like, those things weren't even part of the plan.
No, I haven't practiced. I don't stand in front of a mirror doing this kind of thing. It really just comes alive on the day. It sounds strange, but it doesn't
sound that strange to me. I can understand a little bit.
Yeah. I've thought about it a lot, and I know what the story is, and I know what they're going to say, and the scripted lines and everything, but the combo of everything comes together on the day. Yeah. Like the Gavin character, he was sitting on his bed back at the Adelaide house and started talking, but I was like, this is kind of how kids talk, I think. And it was really slow, and I was like, it didn't have the rhythm of something that should be funny, but I was like, I think it's better to just make it real, like make it exactly how I think 12-year-old boys talk, and that'll ultimately be funnier than trying to be kind of quirky and have that funny rhythm that people usually do.
Yeah, because some of that I noticed in some of that, it's like there's something like going for the joke, and then there's something like, I trust that this will be funny later, and I just have to let it
Yeah.
Like sometimes there's a moment I notice in myself where it's like, there's a little thing that goes on in my head. It's like, if I don't say anything else or make another sound or another movement right here, then this is going to land really, really good. But if I do anything else, if I look or move or anything or say one more word, it's it pops the balloon. So I can imagine there's some unique moments where you're doing those characters where you probably really land in like a special spot where you're like, oh, this is a good spot for this character right now.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man, because it's just because then the reward is all for the audience. The reward is all, they're going to love it, It's so cool, man.
The hard thing is you have to really block out trying to impress the people around you, like the crew and the cast. If the moment's awkward and not funny, it's okay because, it'll come together later. But yeah, it's sometimes you have to really remember it's not about pleasing the people around you. It's about the end result.
Yeah.
So you get over that and just,
it's interesting, man. Because then because then it's interesting because part of what I always noticed with my original thing was to make the people around me laugh. Yeah. So it's then whenever you're taping something, sometimes you have to sacrifice that.
Yeah.
To know that it's going to play better in this other way.
Yeah, I think when you were saying making this kids laugh at school, I used to do that, but in a more kind of thought out, planned way. Like I wasn't the class clown, the loud kid, but I would plan out a thing, like a funny scripted thing that I was going to just do. If I had to do a speech, I would write out something really funny and then I just get up and do something kind of shockingly funny rather than I wasn't the kid yelling shit out from up the back.
Yeah.
But even like primary school days, I remember like you had to, I don't know, drawings and stuff. I'd always do something really funny that incorporated like some in-joke about the teacher or something. But it was planned out. It wasn't sort of the loud, funny guy thing.
Yeah.
Which I like. It seems to be what I like to do.
Yeah, I was never the class clown. I was never like physical. I was always like in my head, I was like, oh, this would be a time I was a verbal.
Yep.
I was more verbal than I was physical.
I still wanted the people around me to laugh. Like I loved it the day that, you'd get up and do the speech and they'd laugh. It was so fun.
Do you remember sometimes the fact that they would even continue to let you go back up to the front of the class after you'd already been funny other times?
Yeah.
And ruin the teacher's day and she's again going to let you go up and do anything?
Yeah. Because the teachers just secretly, they're like kind of bored and wondering what they're doing with their lives. And they're like, hang on, this will be like a little wrong, but it'll entertain me.
Yeah.
And sometimes there was no like educational kind of content in what I was saying, but the teachers would give me full marks. They'd be like, you made my day. And you just,
that's awesome.
I started to work out that if you actually pretended to be the teachers, so I'd get up and do like speeches as them. And
they were keen to it?
Or some other kind of controversial teacher at the school. And it was like, it can't leave the classroom, but I said this. Like, that was fun.
That's fun, man. It was so fun being young like that, just to be free,
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, and there was it didn't have to lead to anything. It was just that moment of being funny, and then you'd be thinking about that forever. Like,
and then reenacting with your friends or talking about how funny it was. That was so much better. Now it's all captured, so it kind of it spoils it some.
Yeah, and it gets judged for weird reasons and analyzed too much, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the cool things that's been about podcasts. It's like all that shit is dying in the US, like all of that, like, because there was no fan base for it. It was just like clickbait online. There was no real, people judging stuff. It was just losers sitting around at home with not just on their computers and lonely people writing articles. It wasn't actual funny people who like to laugh expressing themselves because they're busy living their lives.
Yeah.
But now it's like with podcasting, so many more people are just having a good time again and so much less judgmental. In the US anyway, I'm noticing it growing. But I don't know if it's the same here probably.
Yeah, I guess it would be. It seems to be getting really huge, the whole podcast thing, and I can see why. Yeah. It's uncensored and you really feel like you get to know the person you're listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's good.
So when you made your family laugh when you were young, did you make like your mother and father laugh too, or no?
Yeah, they were the main ones laughing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Was it fun to make your parents laugh? Like, who was the funnest to make laugh in your family? Like,
probably my oldest brother. Yeah. And I mean, he would make me laugh. Like, so we had a kind of, and still does, like we had a good thing together.
yeah.
One of my favorite things that he did when I was little was where I used to go to bed really early, and he was a teenager, so he would stay up, but it was really dark, and he used to sneak in my room and like jump on my bed and pretend that he was my Chinese mother and did this like ridiculous stereotypical accent. But the whole concept was that the Chinese mother used to sneak in at night to try to steal me back because I was actually a Chinese kid that had had an operation to make my eyes wide. And then he'd do the whole like, I can't do the accent, I'll get in trouble. But yeah.
Here, let me try, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you're coming home.
There it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah. This is your Chinese mother.
Yeah.
Anyway, he used to do that, and then he'd run out of the room, and then he'd come back in as himself, and he'd be like, "Oh, Chris, there was this Chinese woman running down the driveway. She seemed really like freaked out." And I'd have to pretend I didn't know of anything about it, and it used to make me laugh so much. He did a lot of those, but my Chinese mother was one of my favorites.
That's so cool that he did that, because then it leaves you, because then he goes to bed or whatever, and it leaves you in your bed laying there with this expansive idea of what can be funny.
Yeah.
I mean, now there's a woman out in the world that's a fake woman. There's your brother who's just asleep in the other room. There's you laying there with your eyes and your spirit wide open.
It was so exciting.
That's
I'm
cool.
still like thrilled by it. I mean, that's an example of him being hilarious to me. So, but I think it kind of got me excited about those ideas.
Do you think that like humor like creates a special bond between like family members and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's sort of, I can't imagine people that don't find things funny. Like, that's my whole relationship with the family, is everything's a joke. Like, I message my mom like every day, and it's always something funny. Like, it's, yeah. I mean, there's lots of in-jokes and sort of funny stories. But it definitely bonds people together.
Does your family have a good like regular connection as well? And then you also have the humor connection? Or is the humor connection kind of like does it kind of suffice for you guys as the way you guys kind of emotionally connect to each other? I don't know if that's a bizarre question or not.
Yeah, I think, it's not two things. There's like, we talk about regular stuff, but it always has a bit of a funny take.
Yeah.
Like, and it's that kind of piss take Australian humor thing where you're kind of like putting someone down.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mum's thing is about how she used to say we're all thick, like not very smart. And so that's her whole thing, is that in the family, she's the one that had the thick kids.
Especially after hearing about how big your head was as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She should have known out of the gate this one's going to be a bit thicker than most.
Yeah. So she still runs with that angle that like we're really stupid. She's not wrong.
She must be really proud of you, huh?
Yeah, I think she's really into it. Yeah, she really appreciates it, and I think so. We don't really talk about it in that way so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's always telling me people that she works with and friends and stuff that are loving it. So I think she's into it.
That's cool. That must be, for a mom, that's pretty cool. Yeah, my mom said she wore a T-shirt of mine, because my mom first came and saw me. She hadn't seen me perform in about 5 years until a couple of weeks ago, and I gave her just like a merch T-shirt, which she was just enamored by. She talks about it every day now,
and it's got your head on it.
Yeah, it's pretty lame, but she likes it,
Yeah,
and she wore it somewhere, and a young guy came up and said something to her, and it was just like the most. Yeah, there's something for me anyway about making my mom feel proud that really just like makes me feel okay, It makes me feel like a different level of okay than I'm normally able to make on my own,
Because the kind of thing we do, it takes a while to get into to get to the level where it's like your job and it's perceived as a successful thing. So there's many years where I'm sure parents are like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I fucked this up.
Yeah, what am I doing? I gave birth to this thick-headed baby, and now he's out here. Doing dirty riddles. What's going on?
Yeah, I shouldn't have laughed at the dick jokes. Like, but yeah, so I had a similar thing with my mum. There's the character Jemay, the schoolgirl.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I played her, I sent a photo to my mum going, "This is what I'm doing," and she was like, "What the fuck? Like, this is wrong," because it's like my son's dressed up as a young girl. It's really weird. And she said, her reply to me was, "I won't be showing that around at work." Ooh. And then when the show came out, it was like really popular in Australia, and my mum bought a t-shirt with Jemay on it, and she was walking around wearing the t-shirt with me on it.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, "Oh, you changed your tune." She's like, "Oh, well, once I saw the show." She's into it now.
She is. Did what's interesting is a lot of my friends still don't know about Summer High Tide. I regard it as, and that whole series, I saw it about a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago for the first time. I'd never even heard about it. And I was so shocked when I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, this is like everything I've ever wanted to laugh at in one space.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't believe that I hadn't known about it,
And how did you find out about it? Just random.
Somebody said, "Hey man, you have to watch this." And then I heard it again like a week later from somebody just randomly, and then I was like, okay, this thing's coming into my little universe, and
weird.
I got to know about it. And it, dude,
because that show, like, I made that in Australia for our local network, and I just never thought it would go beyond Australia.
Really?
So the fact that you're watching it in America a year ago spins me out. Like,
I could imagine. I could imagine that a decade later or something, if we have something still swirling and even blowing people's minds. It blew my mind. It was like,
wow.
I never seen anything like this since I was a kid, and they had a show called In Living Color when I was young that was really big in the States.
Yeah.
But yeah, to this day, I think it's probably the funniest, and going off into that series, with Mr. G and the other character, like Jonah from Tonga, just look at my dick, Dad. Just the whole, just so many fucking, it's so ridiculous. It's everything that I felt like was funny to me as a human, and I couldn't express it. And so somebody had like captured this ability to just make it perfect, man.
Yeah, some people just really get it.
Does it make you laugh? I mean, I never go back and watch anything that I really have done, but does it make you laugh sometimes? Or there's sometimes a character like, the voice of one of them will pop into your head and it makes you feel good?
Oh, definitely. Like, because if you have a look at Instagram and people make all these memes and little videos.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I forget that I've done stuff, but I relive it through those videos and things. But someone sent me a Jemay one the other day, and I was like, shit, that's funny. I was losing my shit over it. It was just Jemay like having to go at the principal for not giving her the Hilford Medal. I don't know if you've seen that show, but so her whole thing is that they've given it to a fat lesbian boarder, and she's really like, can't believe, and she says, I'm like the hottest student to ever grace your fucking playground. And I don't know, I just, for some reason that line made me laugh. But yeah, I do laugh at it. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
It's not like you sit around and laugh at it, not in an ego way, but that's just a testament to how entertaining it is. I think that it can even come back and make you laugh,
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's cool. Sometimes there'll be a moment I'll see in a joke I'll see online or something. I'll like, dude, that got me, man. That guy did a good job. It's not like I'm thinking I did a good job.
Yeah,
it's kind of like I'm thinking that guy did a good job.
That's a good way to explain it. Yeah, I feel like I'm not responsible for that. So yeah, I'm not bragging when I say that. It's like, oh, that person was funny.
Yeah, it's hard to keep our ego out. It's Ari, will you mind cutting on the AC for a second, or just cutting it on over there? It's on that wall. Just put it at like 19, if you don't mind, bud. Oh, and Ari's the opener too. Well, that's what he is. He's a comedian, but he's like the best. Yeah, he's been. Are
you guys on tonight?
A real champ. Yeah. If you want to jump on stage, man, you're welcome to practice something.
Oh, what?
People would lose their minds, though, huh? Is it hard being like a legend in your country? It must be. Is it kind of scary sometimes? A little bit.
It is a little bit, but I'm pretty low key and I don't do any press and stuff, so I'm not kind of known as like me as myself. So I can kind of walk down the street. But at the moment, because the Lunatics thing's been really big, I do get stopped a lot and it's a bit full on.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a like paparazzi thing that happens here, which can be a bit, it just scares me. It's
scary.
Like you know, I don't care. It's just me walking around the streets and stuff, but the photos are not that weird. But it's scary when you see them and you hear the camera and stuff. It freaks me out.
What does that mean? Oh, hear the camera, people show up, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the pap thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's scary if I go to an event or something and people are all hyped up and excited and you're like, shit, how am I going to get away from this? Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit full on.
Yeah, it's interesting how... has it been tough for you to, like, was there moments in your career where you've had to, like, battle your own ego? Like, one thing I noticed for myself is my ego, it's kind of a separate animal than me, you know? It lives inside of me, and it's like, it can be a victim to all the things that go on in the world, you know? It's kind of like a sugar lizard, I call it. Like, it'll just, it just goes for the sugar all the time. It's just the way it's built. Have you had any... And recently I've had to just make sure to myself, like start to do some meditation, is just make sure to just keep my mind and focus on what's going on. My job is just to make people laugh and not get caught up in anybody else's ideas of what I am. Did you have any thoughts about that during your career, or notice any stuff about your own ego or anything?
I think like I'm more the opposite. Like I kind of can't get my head around the interest in it, and I don't know, I probably should be more confident about it. I'm probably a bit down on myself about the whole thing. Yeah, if ever there's like TV awards nights and I go to those and I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm not part of this. Like, who are all these people? I don't know, and I'm not saying that to be, I'm so super humble or whatever. It's just genuinely my thing. I'm not, I don't have that ego.
Is it a discomfort? So say you're at a thing like that, right? Because if I go to something like that in Los Angeles, I feel uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Like I feel like, I don't know. I feel like maybe these people are judging me, or I just feel some sort of uncomfort, which is kind of fine with me. It's kind of, some of the uncomfort is what keeps me in a place where I feel like I'm able to be funny anyway. Is that the kind of thing you feel, or you just feel like, oh, this isn't my vibe? Or do you, like if you go to something kind of fancy, is there...
Yeah, I think because I feel like there's an expectation for me to be a little piece of the show. So I feel like when I'm at those things, people are like, can you make us feel the way that we do when we watch you dressed up and in the show? And I'm like, that's not what I do. But like I knew that you would get it. That's why I like talking to you. But normally I don't do those kind of interviews and things, or go on TV talk shows and stuff, because I know that there'll be that expectation.
I see what you're saying. Man, I'm so grateful that we're able to do this, man. Yeah, I just couldn't believe I could be such a fan of something. I've never been a fan of anything that much in my whole life. It's almost bizarre, dude. I was like, man, I'm such a, like, what's going on with me, dude? I thought I was going to go through like a second puberty or something, you know? I thought I was going to sprout another dick or something, or another beard or something on my neck. I thought it was pretty cool. It just made me laugh so much, man.
Oh, good. That's like the best thing ever, like, to know that.
Isn't it fun making people laugh? It's crazy, isn't it?
It's the best, yeah. It's so good. Well, that's the whole drive and the reason that we're doing it. It's just to make people feel that thing. Yeah, I mean, you want them to feel a lot of things. You want them to be just excited and inspired and kind of maybe sad sometimes, or all sorts of things. But the main thing you want them to do is just laugh and find it really funny. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool, man. There's something. It's so funny, laughter, because people shake and they make a noise, and it's such a. Yeah. It's almost like you're like Harry Potter. Like, it's not like you're Harry Potter, but the process of it is the result of it. It's almost like it's like a magic or something, you know?
Yeah, it's very weird. I mean, you would have that immediate thing, because you're standing in front of people and they're making noises and shaking their bodies at you.
Yeah, that's true. You get it more immediate on stage. That's right. I forget you, because you. It says online you did stand up.
Yeah, I did start doing that. That's sort of how I got into it. But
did you find that it wasn't your medium, kind of doing it? Did you find, like, because I'm sure you learned from it, like, okay, this is this, but did you then find, okay, I work better in this other realm?
Yeah, I think I prefer doing TV, but that was how I got into it. That was the stepping stone, because I would stand. There's nothing better than there's no better way of reaching creating something and reaching people than stand-up, because you're thinking of everything. You're standing there saying it. It's reaching them immediately. Everything else has layers of stuff that takes away from that. So I found it a really good way to start things. And that morphed into me doing characters on stage. I mean, I always did characters back in school days and my whole life just always did characters. But then stand up, I did the more traditional thing, and then I moved into that like annoying singing songs stand up. And then I was like, actually, I'm just going to do characters. Also, I'd get on stage and I'd talk about a person, a type of person, and then I'd sort of spin around and become that person.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is the thing that's working. Like, yeah. And then started to make little short films and things about those characters, and then that spun me off into TV. So yeah, I definitely did it for a little while, and it was, you got to have balls to do that though. It's like so scary just to jump up in front of people.
Yeah.
You get used to it, but
well, I think what's scary to me is to make a character and like put it on Instagram or put it on social media or put it on that to me feels so scary for some reason. Like there are parts of me that I think would love to do it.
I want you to do it. You should do that.
Yeah, I'd have to. But for some reason, that is so scary to me, as opposed to getting up in front of people is much less scarier.
Yeah, I guess it's just anything, you get used to it. It's like if you're scared of flying, you do it all the time, and suddenly you're not. It's like that.
Well, you know what I think it is, Chris, man, is for me, if they're there live, then I know immediately. For me to give something to a place and let it be seen and not be able to be there and know if they're there laughing.
Yeah.
That for me, there's some fear in that. Like I need to be right there to know if they laugh or not. I'm okay almost if they don't, it'll hurt me, but to put it somewhere like in a television and let them see it, but not be able to actually be there and see them as they see it and know if they laugh.
Yeah.
That's something that's really like, to me, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, okay. And the thing with TV also is it's expensive to make it, so there's a lot of expectation on it and a lot of kind of build up and hype, and people love to say that you failed at it. So there's this real like expectation thing. But I kind of don't get involved in that.
Did you ever consider going to live in the States at any point?
Not really. Like after the first show I did, We Can Be Heroes, that then obviously like in the States all the agents start calling and people are like, you need to make a movie here and all that kind of stuff. So that happened, but I could just sense that there was going to be too much like involvement from people, and everyone just wants you to do more of the same, but they want to tell you how to do it. So it's kind of like, and then I just was like, that's when I did Summer Heights High. I came back and did that, and I didn't want to go to auditions and all that
sucks.
That scene. I'm just driven by a different thing, which is to create something out of nothing and then see the whole process through from the beginning to the end and be the person driving that. Yeah. That's very different experience to auditioning and being in someone else's film or whatever it is.
I got offered some roles recently, and at first I was like, I got excited, but then I had to go back and apologize and say, I just can't do this. I said, I like to be a creator. I don't want to do something unless for some reason it feels scary to do something of somebody else's. I only feel comfortable doing something of my own almost. Yeah.
It's a different motivation, and people don't get that because it sounds so like prestigious and stuff, like to be in someone else's film. And people still say to me now, they're like, oh, you should act one day. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like playing fucking 6 different characters. They're like, no, act in a movie, like in someone else's movie. Like get in a movie with like Meryl Streep and shit. I'm like,
that would be so dope, dude.
It's like, I think I'm already acting, but anyway.
That would be so dope to see you in Bridges of Madison County 2.
Oh yeah.
That would be the most legendary shit ever.
I'd just be laughing the whole time. Imagine doing a scene with Meryl Streep. That would be hard work.
But to me, she's pretty though. There's something always about her, because she had like a motherly thing and also like a womanly thing. Kinda.
Yeah, she's a gilf.
Yeah, she's like the perfect storm. Like I'd breastfeed off her, definitely.
Absolutely.
Who's someone you'd breastfeed, you think, off of that's over the age of 60?
Judi Dench. Do you know who that is? No, I'm just thinking of someone over 60. I don't know if I wanted to breastfeed.
Is she a Dame Judi Dench?
Yeah,
what is
sorry,
that?
I've left off the title yet.
She's a religious figure, or she's an
actress.
Oh, she's an actress.
Yeah. No, I don't want to suck her. Breastfeed her.
Yeah.
Shit, who is there?
There's Betty White, but she's so old.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely would go there, but not with Betty.
Yeah.
But
I'd put a straw in the tit, I think, now that I think about it, if it's really old.
You'd have to.
Yeah, I'm not going, Anything over 50, I don't think I'm putting my lips on, man. I just, I'd be a bit nervous, probably.
Yeah. No, it's straight.
Now, your character, Becky, I think, is probably one of my favorite ones, I think. Especially when they made fun of her in the dorm. Like, I could really relate to that. And that's as far as I am on the show. I'm just through, I think I'm now through episode 3, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Of Lunatics. And some of it I find myself having to go back because there's a lot going on sometimes. So it's almost like I have to listen to the wording again, like to hear everything you're saying.
Yeah.
But what's up with Becky? How's she doing today? Is she doing okay?
She's never going to be that okay. Like, she's got a pretty difficult situation. I just like the idea that this girl basically kind of has a disability and everyone's ignoring it and pretending she's just the tall girl. And she's got a lot of issues. And her family just have told her how amazing she is, trying to do the right thing. They've, like, given her this false confidence. So at the point when we meet her, she's kind of faking it so much, but she's just a bundle of insecurity. And as the show goes on, she gets really involved in becoming a YouTube vlogger. So she gets this confidence boost out of all her followers online, and things start to take off.
Wow.
And so it's that young girl being so insecure and just, there's no way. She's not an attractive girl. She's got massive legs. She
And
can
huge
barely
feet
walk.
too. The ankles are very big.
Massive ankles.
And they get bigger, it seems like, in some of the scenes.
You're not the first person to say that. They don't get bigger, but I think there's just more shots of them. So
Because there's a couple scenes where it looked like she put on about 40 pounds in each ankle.
Yeah. No, she just has some bad outfits. But she just is never going to be the popular girl she's always going to struggle in life. And I just like that concept that the dorm life is just, everyone is just relentlessly attacking her every episode. She just is bullied. I don't know why I found that funny, but because it's actually quite tragic. But to me, it's funny. She hits her head a lot on things.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's so grateful her dad came and put a,
Oh, yeah, the poor
He
dad.
loves her.
Yeah,
he does his best. He's a busy dad, though. He does his best. And how can you relate to two girls if you're a dad? It's probably hard.
Yeah, and he had the perfect daughter and then the kind of freaky daughter. So he kind of has tried to compensate for it by being super nice, but you can only build someone's confidence up so much.
Yeah.
And the reality is she's going to have a hard time.
I'm curious to see now, man. Now I'm even more invested in the character.
Yeah, she has a bit of a love interest thing. And
with a basketball guy, I'm guessing?
Oh.
No, don't tell me.
I don't want to tell you that.
Okay, don't tell me.
It's, she just wants to be a normal girl, and it's a struggle.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
I guess everybody had that. Did you have like, was there anything like, I have like a big nose, I have big ears kind of? Like those are things like I was insecure about like when I was growing up, that always like, and a nose is hard because you fucking have to show it to everybody, like.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
I think I also have a big nose and big ears.
Is that what you think?
I don't think about ears that much, but now you've made me think about it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, you seem like you have a normal look to me.
Nah, it's a big nose and a big ears. But when you're a teenager, all that stuff is so much bigger on your face anyway.
Yeah.
And you had the big dick thing too, so.
Oh, yeah. Thank God I had that. But nobody wanted to hear about that after the big nose and ears. They were like, yeah. Sure, guy. Nobody gets all three big,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Nobody's that much of a legend.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to think of what else really. So you don't have any pets? Oh, you do have pets, you said.
I don't have pets, but I have 2 rainbow lorikeets that come to visit me every day.
And it's the same ones you said?
Yeah, the same 2, because one has like a squashed up foot, like an injured foot.
Oh yeah, like somebody
If my
from Game
phone
of
was on-
Thrones kind
I'll
of.
show you the photo because he's my screensaver on my phone. But yeah, they're really friendly birds. They're a big thing in Australia. Like everyone loves them. I think everyone loves them. They've got good personalities.
Do you think that they know that you're on telly and everything like that, or no?
I thought about that. I reckon they might be onto it. But they like literally, I go away for months and I come back and they're there. But yeah, because they literally come into my house and get in my sink and walk. Like,
Oh, wow.
They land on the edge of my laptop. Like they've seen me naked.
Oh,
like,
wow.
They're like, we're really intimate.
They're artistic. It sounds like.
Yeah.
They sound like photographers. They almost sound like a little bit of.
Well, yeah, maybe they are taking some photos. I don't know. That it did cross my mind that maybe because there's some other like famous people that live in the area, like Hugh Jackman's got a place down in Bondi.
Oh wow!
And I've always thought maybe the birds they're going to him because sometimes they come to mine. They've got this powdery shit on their nose. Yeah. I'm like, is Jackman feeding them and then they're coming to me?
Yeah. Or are they doing cocaine down by Jackman's?
Well,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
They gramming up down there by Jackman's and then
seriously,
hitting the
there's like powder on their nose.
Yeah, I could see that, man. A lot of birds, everybody thinks they're doing good shit all the time. That's a crazy thing, man.
Yeah, these are smart birds, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Dude, I remember like when I was growing up, in America they have a disease. It's called Down syndrome, you know, and it's like people have like it's kind of like people just. I don't know what it is really, but they had a good buddy of mine when I was young that had it, you know? And so we were children, you know, and we were good friends. And I remember people always thought that we would go drink alcohol sometimes. And like he would do, you know, steal shit, just regular kid shit. And people thought that he was always doing like only sweet stuff. Like he always got the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
People always thought like, oh, he's probably doing a puzzle or something. You know, or he's with his grandparents. Like, and he fucking wasn't. He was.
I know, yeah.
He was raising hell. You know. It's like
Yeah.
some things like birds or whatever. They always get the benefit of the doubt. You know.
Yeah, we need to analyze that more carefully. Yeah, just because you got colored feathers doesn't mean like you're not a dickhead.
Yeah. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
you're not really raising hell somewhere.
Yeah.
They could be somewhere doing who knows what.
I like to follow them. I bought a drone and my thought was that I'm going to like fly it off the balcony and follow the lorikeets. Mm-hmm. But they're so fast. The lorikeets are so fast. Plus, as soon as they hear the drone, they fly. So it hasn't worked so far. Because they have a nest and they have babies and stuff because they always bring their baby to me when they've had one. And
Oh my God, this is definitely Game of Thrones kind of.
I wanted to take the drone and find out where the nest was. Imagine that.
Yeah.
It'd be sick.
You're fucking watching them, following them.
Yeah.
Think.
It'd be good if I had like a virtual reality drone and then I could go to the nest and like reach out.
Yeah, spend time there.
Like it would feel like I was flying with them.
Daddy's home, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a
Seriously.
Chinese woman coming to get you in the middle of the night. That's what you
Oh,
can
yeah,
do with
yeah.
the babies.
Yes. I'm the baby's Chinese mother. Yeah. I like that.
Wouldn't that be crazy, man? If one day you wake up like in heaven or something and you come to and you just look in the mirror and you're an actual Chinese woman.
I would love. Oh, that would be amazing. I don't know if I'd love that. I'd be so surprised. Is that what happens? You go to heaven and the real you is revealed.
I bet there has to be some sort of revelation or some
Yeah.
sort of like an exposure, almost like you expose a photo where you see, oh, this is.
Yeah. You thought you got away with this. This is the real thing.
Yeah, this is what was going on. You were fucking around, you know. You were playing with these birds on the
Yeah.
balcony and they had, you know.
Yeah, cameras in their eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, you were feeding birdseed to a camera for
Yeah.
fucking 5 years, man.
Yeah, imagine that. And you have to watch the footage in heaven.
And you look like such an idiot too. You just keep feeding this camera
Yeah.
birdseed.
Seriously. That could happen.
Was there ever like a entertainer from the States that reached out, like Jim Carrey or somebody like that was like, oh, I have to do something with this guy? I can imagine that's probably happened to you over the years.
That they've reached out to me.
Yeah, and they wanted to, like, they were just real keen on trying to work with you, and keen means excited. I just learned it like 2 days ago, but yeah, they were excited to try and have you in their project, or I mean, even though it wasn't something maybe you were looking for, but
Yeah, there's been a little bit of that, but sort of just more coming from like casting people or directors and stuff rather than actual like
artists.
artists. Like a lot of them. No, actually, that's not true. Like people do. There's been big name people who are fans of the shows and have reached out. Yeah, it happens a fair bit. But I kind of feel like a dickhead naming who those people are.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not asking who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking if that's ever happened. I guess like, yeah, I guess I was just kind of thinking like, because if I thought of like one of my favorite movies is Dumb and Dumber, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, would you ever see, is that something that, like David Spade the other day was telling me that Chris Farley got offered the role of, and There's Something About Mary, that Ben Stiller played, the main guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I just never knew that. It just blew my mind because then I start thinking of that movie, and if Chris Farley plays Ben Stiller, it's just interesting,
Yeah.
So I guess I was just wondering if there had ever been like a unique role, or if somebody had ever, or just if it had ever happened, not like specifics,
There has been a few roles. It's never like the handsome lead. It's always like the kind of weird. It's like the freak, the weird butler or something. Like the kind of, yeah. One of them was like it was like James Franco's PA or something, but obviously it was some like camp weirdo.
Yeah.
Like I get those roles. Like basically they've seen some outside. They're like, "Can you do Mr. G?" But we're not going to say that. But
right. You got to keep that magic for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like to outsource my magic if I have any, or not magic, but whatever I do have,
Yeah.
I don't want to just put it into whatever. I'd rather save it and maybe hope that it, that it can be good somewhere specifically.
Yeah, I'm the same.
So, well,
so you've only seen 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I also haven't seen I haven't seen the Heroes movie that you did.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell the bits you haven't seen because you kind of just, your eyes glaze over.
I know, it's hard to hide it, huh?
Yeah.
I know, I feel bad sometimes. But you can't watch everything.
No, you can't. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad I haven't seen everything, because then there's some things that I can be like, still amazed by. Like I'm only on season 2 of Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. I'm on season 1. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I'm excited that that's ahead of me. Because everyone told me to watch it. So I was like, no, I'm not going to.
Yeah,
and now
me too.
I'm secretly watching it.
Dude, I watched Scarface for the first time 3 years ago.
Shit. I don't think I've seen it. I haven't seen it.
Are you serious?
Is it good?
Fuck you, man. You fucking just outdid me. I waited my whole life to watch. People kept telling me, you gotta watch it. It's like a legendary flick.
I haven't seen Top Gun.
Oh, fuck you, man. Oh, you can end up in hell, brother. You're not gonna make it, man.
Yeah.
What about Thelma and Louise? Have you seen it?
Seen it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other one was Mad Men. Everyone kept raving about it, and I was like, nah, not watching it. And then I secretly watched it, and I liked it, but I didn't want to tell anyone to had to get through 7 seasons. Because I didn't want to be in season 3 and go, oh, it's pretty good. And they're like, oh, haven't you seen season 6? You don't want that.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of secret watching.
Oh, I see. What about A League of Their Own? Have you seen that movie?
That is Madonna in that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gina
it's good
Davis.
though. Tom Hanks is in it.
The lesbian lady.
Yeah, I could have seen you playing one of the characters in that on the
team. I would suit that. Yeah, a big butch lesbian. Yeah,
or not big. She could just be. But yeah,
a lipstick lesbian.
Yeah, lipstick lesbian, but in a Chinese city, maybe. I see.
Yeah, that would be my dream.
I could see you being the hottest woman in a Chinese village, kind of.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Am I a Chinese woman or I'm just a hot white woman?
I mean, I just think I could see that. I could see if I showed up in a village outside of Shanghai, a couple 100 miles out, and then being oh, this is our queen,
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that too. That'd be great, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be really good.
I wonder what kind of, sometime if I could be if I had to be a woman, what type I would be. I would be I think the bus driver,
Oh, yeah. Bit butch.
Yeah, tough, bowling at night and...
Yeah, but she's got a feminine side.
Yeah.
She can sort of wear a dress on Friday nights.
Yeah, on Friday night she likes to wear a dress sometimes to go down to the VFW or something.
Yeah.
Do they have VFW here?
No.
It's Veterans of Foreign Wars. It's where all
the...
What do they call it here?
We got the RSL.
Yeah. Go down to the RSL and maybe have a cocktail.
The RE. Yeah, I can see you there.
do some video games or something in a dress, though.
You'd do some swing dancing, I reckon.
Yeah.
But you'd be sort of, attractive when you wanted to be. Mostly butch.
Yeah, mostly just fucking riding the rails
Yeah.
out there, just getting people where they need to go.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
You could just do that for a day. Be a real woman.
Yeah. I think in a couple years you'll be able to. I think in a couple years, like with all these hormones and stuff they have now, I think.
Just chuck it on for a day.
Yeah. Chuck on a fucking puss and a couple tits, you know?
Yeah.
And hit the, go watch, something. A film or, walk, take a run.
Yeah.
I'd like to run as a woman, I bet. Go for a jog.
Yeah, the sports bra. You have to keep it on. Just let it all...
Spit if you want.
Yeah. So you always go butch woman.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah, because
Well, being the pretty woman would scare me, I think. It seemed like so much pressure.
That would be hard work.
Yeah.
I don't envy that.
Always having to look kind of like perfect. Eat your soup real perfectly.
Yeah.
It would make me nervous,
Everyone's
man.
staring at you.
Yeah. Think about that. Everybody's staring at you, and it happens when you're young, and then that would make me so nervous.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
Yeah, I don't know what else I would be. Maybe I could see you also being like the guy like on a soccer team that like is in a wheelchair there on the side.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
he's in the team, but it's like a sympathy thing.
And they wheel him out once a year and kind of wheel him down the grass.
Yeah. Down the grass.
Or it's like because the field is a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cheap field, yeah.
Yeah.
It's downhill a little.
Yeah, I could do that.
Trying to think of some other. Oh, I could also see you doing like a Robin Hood type of.
Oh, yeah.
I could see you being like a Robin Hood. Rich. Yeah, robs from the rich and gives to the poor.
Yeah. Does he swing through? No, it's Tarzan. He doesn't like climb trees and shit, does he, Robin Hood?
I could see you being like Tarzan's brother that wants to do something different, wants to get out of the jungle a little.
Alternative, he's a bit of an emo Tarzan. Yeah. It's skinnier.
Yeah,
he's got a bit of a gut. Yeah, his girlfriend's not that hot.
Yeah, she's not that hot, dude. And she comes to the edge of the forest and like gives him books and shit.
Yeah.
And cassette tapes, even though he doesn't have a player.
Yeah. He's always a bit depressed.
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
So many options.
Do you think sometimes, like, do you know when a character comes into your head, you like for Lunatics, did you have them all planned out? And obviously you had ideas, and you said once you get to set and you get in makeup, it grows even more. But was there another character that you went to set with that you guys did that you left on the floor?
Not that we got that far with, but in the writing stage, I had like about 8 characters all up, and then I kind of had to narrow it down. I remember doing a drawing actually, and I'm not even good at drawing stuff, and it was like of all of the characters together. And so you could just look at the lineup and was imagining it, how it would work. And then there was a couple of characters that I just thought, nah, you're kind of crossing over. It's like a little too similar to that. It's similar to something you've done before. That's the thing, because I've done a lot of characters now, so I have to always look different. I've done, once you do long red hair, you can't do that again. So you got to think of different hairstyles and so a few of them I got rid of, but then some of the great ideas, I sort of morphed those ideas into the current characters. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is hard to find new characters, I bet, huh? Because once you've done like a guy, if it's a gay guy, you can't. It's like you could do another one, but it still kind of sticks on it'll stick to the other one.
That's it, yeah. It's hard, and there's always a little bit of a crossover because there's certain things you find funny or interesting. So you're always kind of going down the same path a little bit. But that's actually the challenge now, is to make it different, because I've done a lot of characters now.
Is that kind of, even though it's like, I'm sure there's a great sense of pride with that, is there a little bit of like, is it almost kind of a bummer sometimes that you've gone through like a lot of humanity and character, that you have that much of a body?
Yeah, it is, because sometimes you got a slightly different take on it, and I'm like, oh fuck, that would be better. But I'm like, yeah, but you kind of did that. Like, you've done like the fashion thing or the skate thing or whatever it is, surf or whatever the kind of world is.
Yeah.
Or I've done an Asian woman before, and I'm like, I can't really do that again.
Yeah.
But I do bring characters back. Like, there's been a lot of like spin-offs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they come back.
Well, I've seen, I think, some of the stuff I've seen like Jonah from Tonga, and I've seen, I mean, yeah, it was just too much sometimes, but so good. And it helped me learn about like Tongan people a little bit and like the characters, and it gave me like a sense of like what it would actually be like to be at a school when you're young like that, you know? And when he goes and lives with his auntie and shit, God, I fucking miss that family, dude. Yeah. I miss the miss the fucking auntie, man.
It feels so real. Like, it feels like that they exist out there somewhere still.
Yeah. Does it feel like that to you too?
Yeah, to me it does. Yeah. And it's kind of, I'm kind of caught up in the illusion of it as well.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
I can totally imagine that. You know, a lot of kids these days, their imagination is changing because, you know, with social media, with computers and stuff, it's different. Like you can create stuff actually more. So your imagination is almost like the processor now is in the machine. Yeah. Rather than it used to have to be in your head, you know? It's a little bit scary. I wonder if they'll ever have, you know, if we'll ever be able to do some of the stuff that, you know, you and I have been able to do growing up. Like if the medium will change so much that they won't even, like, oh, why is this guy pretending to be this character when he could just, you know?
Yeah, you're right. That's weird, isn't it? It's already kind of evolved a lot in the last 10 years or so. So, yeah.
Does it scare you a little bit?
No, I just kind of roll with it. Like, it's funny doing the show with Netflix because they have this sort of the episodic thing, but all the eps kind of run together for most people. Most people sit back and watch like 1.5 episodes or something. And then the episode length time, it's so we sort of, they're basing it on the model of old broadcast TV, but it's actually already evolving into this thing. It's just this linear entertainment thing that people just tap into when they want to. And yeah, we're sort of in this weird transition where there's a little bit left over from the past. Yeah. I mean, kind of like, yeah, like when films first started and it was like vaudeville performers and shit, and they were like, it was all just like watching a theatrical production. Like you were kind of looking at it from one perspective, and then it kind of evolved and people were like, well, shit, we could get different angles and we could edit this. And yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I'm sounding like I know what I'm talking about.
You're just saying it's changed.
Yeah, it's evolving. And so I started doing 25-minute episodes or whatever, and they went to air once a week. And now I'm doing this kind of long thing that just keeps flowing together. And yeah, it's cool.
Has it been cool? Was it as cool of an experience doing Lunatics as anything else?
Yeah. Well, cool and better in the way that it reached people, because normally I have to like launch it in different countries and you're kind of dealing with different networks, where this was just like they just press the button and suddenly it's all over the world. Yeah. It's a big audience. So, but making the show was pretty much the same experience, I guess, as all of them, because yeah.
It's so crazy. It's something like, there are moments where I'll look at you and I'll see like just like another character will pop into my head that it's like I forgot about a little bit.
Oh,
or,
really?
You know, even from the past, yeah, there'll be like an angle where it's like, oh, there's a Mr. G. And, you know, or it'd be like an angle and then it'd be like, oh, that's fucking, you know, oh, I see how he's built. That's how Jonah was built, you know, like if just like the way your arm is bent. It's just kind of bizarre, man, you know?
Yeah,
it's really weird. Cool.
I don't see myself, I guess, so I don't really get that experience unless I'm looking in the mirror or something. But yeah, I can imagine. That must be weird. People often do try to say who they think I'm the most like. They do say that quite a lot.
But that must change, though, because then suddenly there are moments where I'm like, oh, he definitely seems like Gavin a little bit more, you know? Yeah. The Earl of, what is it called?
Gayhurst.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, what a fucking great name. Chris Lilley, man, thank you so much. I don't think there's anything else, really. I mean, we can kind of chill and wrap it up. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that sounds good. It's been really fun.
Has it been?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, but it's been so relaxed and you're very easy to talk to.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I wanted this to be just I mean, I think this would be a great episode, man. Our listeners are going to absolutely be over the moon just to be able to have like just an experience with you just as a regular person, you know, and yeah, it's just inspiring, man. It's inspiring to see like, because there's nothing else out there like you. So people need to see it, and young people need to see it so they can be reminded. I can do that, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's how I learned about stuff. Watching, I would see In Living Color and like Damon Wayans and stuff. I'd be like, oh, I can do that. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Now I'm gonna do that. You know?
Yeah. I get kids sending me videos all the time of characters like it
Oh,
does
that's
inspire
great.
kids. Yeah, it's fun.
That would be great. Do you plan to? Will you make more stuff in the future? You don't have any plans on quitting being creative, do you?
Not at all. No, I love doing this.
Thank you.
It's so fun.
Good,
I can't
man.
wait to do more.
Cool, brother. Chris Lilley, ladies and gentlemen, check out Lunatics. And then go back, if you haven't, and watch Summer Heights High, Jonah from Tonga, and you'll fall into the rest of the world, and tell your friends about it. Because, yeah, for some reason, man, Summer Heights High is the greatest gift I can give to any of my friends that haven't. I'm like, have you seen this? And when they say no, I'm just like, oh, fucking Merry Christmas, motherfucker. You know? It's fun. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone. Oh, but when I reach that ground, I'll share this peace of mind I found. I can feel it in my bones, but it's gonna take a little time for me to set that parking brake and let myself unwind.